time. Once you register for that course, you're registered for the whole year. And then each time you attend a session, you'll just click on the name of that session in the registration form that Dana's putting in the chat, and then we'll gather your attendance and you'll get those clock hours by the end of the year. So we're going to do one course for the whole year, similar to what we did in the spring. Okay, and Dana is adding those to the chat. And okay, the bit.lys are also here too. Here's the registration form for your attendance, and then here's the bit.ly for the Canvas course, and we'll add that also to the chat. Okay. Just as an FYI, this session is being recorded. We'll post it on our learning session page for those that cannot attend, or if you want to reference back to any of this information. As soon as that recording's processed, it will be on that registration page. Okay.
Oh, my bad. I've been posting to panelists. Let me get it to attendees.
Okay, Dana's going to post it one more time to that chat. Okay.
New. Oh.
Thanks for bearing with us. We have 65 attendees here, which is awesome. We're so excited for you to be here. And Dana's going to talk about this webinar style next.
Okay, I think we've got this going. All right.
Perfect.
All right. Are you moving me forward?
Yep. We're on slide 2.
Oh,
sorry. There you go.
There we go. Okay, so our agenda for this morning is to introduce who your technology coach team is, what the district requirements are for Canvas use, a Canvas overview. We're going to show you how to import your templates for your courses, and then we're going to launch into some asynchronous learning for you to move forward. Our webinar norms here is that this is a recorded session for our learning sessions page. We request, you should probably take notes during this session because it's not a meeting, so there's not a lot of back and forth, so take some notes. You can post questions in the Q&A during the presentation, and we will review those later and post a frequently asked question, FAQ. We will have office hours available for individual sport directly after this webinar. And as always, with everyone, we're going to assume positive intent that we're working hard to do our best for everyone here.
Yeah, and this isn't our normal style. We hope to not have to use a webinar format moving forward with our live learning sessions. They will just be Zoom meetings with more interaction. But because, yeah, go ahead, Dana.
Oh, sorry, and a couple of things too. We can only see names. We can't see faces. So this is a little different for us too. We don't get to interact with our people out there.
Yeah. Okay.
So here's our team. We've got 4 coaches at the comprehensive high schools. We've got Krista is at the Scriber Lake and Edmonds Heights. Julie's serving Meadowdale High School, Edmonds Woodway, and e-learning. Thanks, Krista. Mara is still at Linwood High School and Mount Lake Terrace High School. And I, Dana Marsden, I'm going to work with the middle schools, Briar Terrace, Alderwood, College Place, and Meadowdale. We have other coaches too that are working with K-8 programs. So that would be Jason at Madrona. Rose is working with the Maplewood K-8. And Kelly McCarty is at Madrona. She's on leave till November, and the other elementary coaches have been working with Madrona to cover her leave. So how we've structured this PD is that there's 1.5 hours of synchronous PD, which we are doing right now. It'll include an overview, our requirements. We'll be importing a template from our Canvas Commons. We'll walk you through that, and then an opportunity to add some questions in the Q&A section down at the bottom. Clock hours will be generated. You'll get clock hours by filling out the registration form, and I will post that again for some of you that came in a little late. I'll put it in the chat. Then following that 1.5 hours of synchronous PD, then there's asynchronous PD, which will be completed through our Launch into Canvas course. There are 4 clock hours available for this. It's designed for the beginning user for Canvas, and it'll take you through some of those basic structures that you'll need to move forward. And we'll talk more about that towards the end of our presentation here.
Okay, we're gonna start with, oh, sorry, Dana, this one's you too. Go ahead.
Well, you regenerated this, so I understand why you wanted to take it over.
No worries.
So if you were here if you were able to listen to the Jeff Utek session, he talked about the core four, and we in Edmonds are very fortunate that we already had our core four in place. Well, we at least had several of these in place before we shut down last spring, and so the core four are the basic structures that you'll really focus on using to get started in this year. So our home base is going to be our Canvas platform, and Canvas is being used for grades 3 through 12. And then Content Organizer is our Google. We use Google Drive. We're a Google District. That's in that right corner. And then down in the bottom right corner is our connection to students, which is synchronous learning, so the Zoom meetings. We use Zoom for our videos to work with kids and staff like we're doing now. And then video creation, so asynchronous learning, building lessons and such, we have available video. So there's a lot of information on this page, but just know this is your core four, your base to support your teaching this year.
And if you're just developing your technology skills for this virtual learning, I would really focus on these core four tools. There are a lot of other resources that the district supports and that you might see other teachers using in their classrooms. If you focus on these core four and get your skills at a comfortable level for you in these four resources, then we'd encourage you to move on to other integrations and tools that we have available. But these are really the main focus during the start of the school year. This Core 4 document with the links to the resources will be posted on our staff resource site as well, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. Oh, we're going to talk about it right now. So we have a staff resource site. This was created in the spring during the school closure as a place to house all instructional technology information. We wanted it to be a site that we could update simultaneously and as quickly as possible so that teachers had the most updated information. We did a feedback session for teachers K-12 at the end of the school year last year, and with that feedback, we renovated this site. So there's lots of information about district supported tools. I would really encourage you to take some time to look through this staff resource site. There's a video that kind of guides you through the changes that we made, and there's resources for all the tools that we support as a district. So if you're wondering what tools are supported and funded by the district, they are all on this website. On this website too, there's also information about the live learning sessions. Hopefully you visited this website already because you are in this webinar right now. But if you go to this resource site, on the left-hand side, there's a link to the learning session page. And that learning session page has a calendar of learning opportunities. So we are offering Canvas training today and tomorrow. We will add additional sessions this week and next week. So please check back on this calendar to see where those sessions or what sessions are being offered. We are also going to lead district-wide office hours that are focused on sessions this week. So instead of having those individual office hour times available for coaches, we are trying to collaborate as a team because we are such a small team to support all secondary teachers as they work on those 4 core tools. So any office hours will also be posted here that you can attend. Feel free to drop in or just have it open while you're working so that you can hear other questions that teachers are asking about those tools as well. Okay. Yeah, and all of those live learning sessions, you can qualify for clock hours for those if you attend the live session. All recordings of these sessions will also be available if we scroll down on that page down below. So if you weren't able to attend that Jeff UTech session, I think last week or a few weeks ago, there is a link to the recording here. And then these are recordings from the spring. As we offer new ones in the fall, we will update those recordings so that you'll have the most up-to-date information on those resources. Okay. Another update for Canvas is that Canvas has updated its editing toolbar. So if you have been using Canvas in any capacity, you might have noticed that when you go to create an assignment or a page or a quiz, the toolbar that you have available has changed. It does feel like a big adjustment at first, but really this new toolbar is much better than the old toolbar. There's just things are located in different places. So as with all change, it takes a little bit to adjust to it. There is a video overview that is included in your asynchronous learning for this PD that you can watch to see what the new buttons look like. So if you want to embed a Google Slides presentation, it's a different button than it was before. We are working really hard to update all of the resources on our staff Canvas site and our staff resource site to make sure that those show the new editing toolbar. But if you have any questions about this, feel free to reach out to your tech coaches. And I would encourage you to watch that video during the asynchronous learning so that you can see the difference. And some of the biggest improvements is that you can expand the edit box size. So it's a whole page now instead of this tiny little window. They have more editing features. So it's kind of more like a Google Docs toolbar. And you can also like add color now and highlights. So it makes it just, you have more formatting availability. So it's pretty cool. Okay, and this I'm super excited to talk about because this is something that we were really encouraging the district to do in the spring, and we got it. So we are funding and supporting some new resources that were offered for free for teachers in the spring by these companies, and we have decided that they are worth the investment. So we are providing premium accounts for all teachers for Pear Deck, and Pear Deck creates interactive slides for synchronous and asynchronous learning. We're also providing paid accounts for all teachers for Kami, and this allows you to create interactive PDFs, excuse me. It also helps with putting PDFs in OCR format, which is optical character recognition. It means that a screen reader could read the words on that PDF, so it makes it an actual document with words, which is pretty cool. And the Kami integration integrates with SpeedGrader. It is like, oh, I'm super excited about paid Kami subscriptions and the Kami integration. It's super easy to use. We are also paying for Edpuzzle accounts for all staff. And this Edpuzzle allows you to add interactive questions within YouTube videos that also integrate with SpeedGrader. So if you're creating instructional videos and uploading those to your YouTube channel because you want your students to have access to subtitles, you can now add interactive questions within that instructional video. So, I mean, who knew we were all going to be YouTube famous? It's pretty exciting. And then also you can make your YouTube channel private so that only your students can see it. So we can help you with that as well. And then we are continuing to pay for Newsella for all teachers. That provides news articles about various subjects and allows for differentiated reading levels, and that also integrates with Canvas. So these tools are part of the asynchronous. If you want to go above and beyond what we provided in the beginner module, they're part of the experienced user module. You are welcome to also explore them. And there are resource pages on our staff resource site for each of these tools as well. With video tutorials, we have also created student tutorials. So if you are worried about your students being able to complete these assignments, we have video tutorials for students as well. Pretty excited about this. Okay, so we want to talk about the district requirements for Canvas use. We're not going to go in depth in this, as this is also part of asynchronous learning, and you can look at these further on your own. And so we have two sites that are really important. The staff resource site, which is this one that I just showed you. And then we also have the Canvas resource site for staff. So let me open that one. And this is actually accessed through your help button on Canvas. So when we log into Canvas today, I'm going to show you how to get to the help button, and the help button will take you to this site. The reason why we have a second site for Canvas is that Canvas has so much information. There's so many tutorials and information out there in the Canvas world that we wanted to make sure you had information specifically for Edmonds School District. So this site is also maintained by all of your instructional tech coaches and constantly updated. And now that we have 3rd through 12th grade on Canvas, it became even more apparent that we needed to make sure we had resources in one spot for all teachers. So this Canvas resource site has tons of information on it, and there's links in Canvas and in your asynchronous learning today. So one of the links on here is the secondary district requirements. And the reason that these were put together in the spring as recommendations is that these are best practices for Canvas teachers to do in order to make their courses as accessible as possible for their students and for the families that are supporting those students. When we think about student support, especially in virtual learning, that goes beyond just the families at home. That also includes our support staff, like our paraeducators, our EL teachers, our learning support teachers, our counselors, all of those people that take a role in supporting students in their learning. And so by having all staff using one platform and also setting up that platform in similar ways will provide access for all of those people supporting those students. It will make it easier to navigate for everyone involved as well. Your tech coaches can also support you by accessing your Canvas courses and really see exactly what's happening so that we can easily problem solve for you as well. So we encourage you during the asynchronous learning to take some time to read through these district requirements. We're going to talk about the template that's available in the Commons, which is like the library of resources for Canvas. And that template is set up according to many of these district requirements. The most important thing is navigation and accessibility. So we are doing, we created a template that really focuses on navigation and accessibility. And you will also do some work in the asynchronous on accessibility. So you can see the rationale behind these requirements that we've set up. So you can take some time. They're divided by topics. We have what the requirement is and the rationale as well. And then for the bigger requirements like your navigation bar, we also provided an instructional video with written directions and then any additional information if you wanted more information about navigation. Okay, so we're not going to take time during this webinar to go through these requirements, but you will have some time in the asynchronous learning. Okay, and okay, the help button. So I just want to show you where that help button is. And so I'm going to act as one of my colleagues, Miss Weber, because her dashboard is much less complicated than my dashboard. So here's her Canvas dashboard, and we're going to talk about logging into Canvas in just a second. But on the far left-hand side, this is your account toolbar. So these are all of your account settings and different resources you have available in your Canvas account. At the very bottom of those resources is the help button. If I click on the help button, these are the resources available. I can access the student resources. This is a site for students that we've created, Canvas resource site for students. So you can see what students can see. If you need to direct students to a specific resource, it would be on this site. And then you have access to the Canvas teacher resources. So that's the site I just showed you that we created for teachers. There's also a Canvas family resources site that helps families become observers in Canvas. So it's a basic site that shows them how to become an observer, how to navigate Canvas, and how to see what they want to see on their student's account. So these are your resources available under the help button, and these are all created by your instructional tech coaches to help support you in Canvas. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're going to talk about logging into Canvas. I saw a few things in the chat about accessing Canvas. So the easiest way to open up Canvas is through your Edmonds bookmarks folder. So if you look in the upper left corner of my screen, I have this Edmonds Bookmarks folder. If I click on that, I have quick access to lots of different resources available to me. This is the same folder that's available to your students. So know that students also have access to this folder if you're trying to direct them somewhere. If you don't see this folder in Chrome, you have to click on the 3 dots in the upper right corner of your screen. We have to click on bookmarks because that folder is in our bookmark bar. And then we need to check that show bookmarks bar is checked right here. So this will show our bookmark bar. If you're using Chrome as your internet browser, that bookmark bar will always be there as long as you're logged in in your district account. So I'm checking that that bookmark bar is shown, and then I should have access to Edmonds Bookmarks. So I can click on Edmonds Bookmarks, and then I can click on Canvas to log in. So I'm going to do that in a new window. And let me log out so you can see what this looks like. So this is our Canvas login page. You should see a panda bear in the upper left corner. If you don't see a panda bear, you're not on the Edmonds School District login page for Canvas. If you want to type it in, it's edmonds15.instructure.com. So that's our specific website for signing into Canvas. When you sign into Canvas, your username is the first part of your district email address. So it's everything before the @edmonds.wednet.15. And then your password is the same password as your district computer, as your district Gmail account. So those are all synced to be the exact same password. If you're having trouble logging in, I would double check that you have if you've changed your password recently, you'll need to use the updated password. I would also check that it's case sensitive. So if you have a capital or a special character, that also has to be included in your Canvas password. If you're still having trouble with logging into Canvas, you can reach out to your tech coaches, and we're also going to be available right after this webinar to help those of you that might be struggling to still log into Canvas. Once you're logged into Canvas, it will take you to your dashboard. And your dashboard is all of your current Canvas classes. So these are all of my classes that are published or unpublished, but they are all current classes. Okay, I'm going to go back to our slideshow. If you are new to the district and you can't log into Canvas, or you don't see any courses on your dashboard, if you could add your name, your school that you're assigned, and your email address to the Q&A right now, we'll follow up with you after this session to make sure that you can access Canvas. So if you're brand new to the district, please add your name, school, and email address into the Q&A. That question will only be visible to us as the panelist, and then we can reach out to you after. Okay. So once you're logged into Canvas, you have a navigation bar on the far left. That's your account navigation. At the very top is your account, your actual Canvas account, and this is where you can change your account settings. You can change notifications so that you can get emails, or you can even get text messages as notifications for different settings that you have in Canvas. You can also access any shared content. So if someone has shared a resource directly with you, that is accessed in your account. The next button is your dashboard, so that's your current courses. The next button is all courses. So this lets you view your current courses and previous courses. You will see your Canvas courses for up to 3 years in that all courses list. So any course that you have created, that you've been enrolled as a teacher as like a collaborative course, or any Skyward generated course that you taught will be available under all courses. Groups is important for students. It's not used that much for teachers. It's for assigning group projects. You can access those groups under this groups icon, but again, that's more used for students when they're assigned to specific group work. The calendar allows you to view all of your course calendars. So I can view all the calendars for all of my courses, or I can select specific courses that I want to view. The Canvas inbox is your messaging system, so you can message your entire course. You can message specific students or observers in your course, and they can also reply to you. So if you want to keep your messaging with students inside of Canvas, you can use your inbox there. The Commons is the Canvas library of resources where you can access any resource that anyone with a Canvas account has posted. You can look at it, preview it, and then you can import that into your course. And we're going to do that today with the template course. And then we talked about the help button as your resource for Canvas, resources for you as well as for your students. And if we go back to our dashboard, that is this toolbar on the far left right here. And as we can see on Dory's dashboard is that she has a couple notifications on her account. She also has some inboxes. So those are messages from her students or from other teachers and courses that she's enrolled. Okay, on your dashboard, there are two types of courses that you might see. There's manually created courses where you've created like a template course to use to build resources, or you may have been enrolled in a manually created course, like for your school PD, you will be enrolled in our course today for the asynchronous learning. So you have manually created courses, and pictured here, these three are manually created courses. So these are courses created either by this teacher or this teacher is enrolled in this course. And then you have Skyward generated courses, and those courses sync with Skyward. They are your official courses for the semester, and your students will be enrolled in those courses about a day or two before school starts. You should already have those courses on your dashboard. They were synced, I think, last Friday. And these courses usually show up about a week before the semester starts, but you should see first semester and second semester courses already on your dashboard.
Mara, they may need to scroll all the way to the bottom where it says unpublished courses to see them.
Perfect. Thanks, Krista. So if I look back at Dory's toolbar or Dory's dashboard, she has 3 published courses, and then she has 4 unpublished courses. So she has a Skyward generated course for advisory and pass, and that's a year-long course. So she'll use the same Canvas course all year. She has a World 10 Sandbox course, so this is a manually created course. It's not generated from Skyward. And then she has World 10 Semester 1 and World 10 Semester 2. Those are both Skyward generated courses. And the biggest or the easiest way to tell the difference between the two is that manually generated courses are not capitalized by default, and they may not have a term designation. So if I look at this course, MTHS Library Resources, there's no semester 1 or yearly, there's no term designation underneath that. But if I look at the Skyward generated courses, they're capitalized by default and are labeled with the current term. So she has World History 9, it's capitalized. Underneath that, it says Semester 2, 2019-20. Same thing with her World History 10, Semester 2, 2019-20. So she has designation, and this is from her old dashboard from last year. Thanks, Story, for letting me use this. And so this shows the term designation. So for her current dashboard, let's go back here. Here's her yearly advisory pass class. Here's her semester 1, 2020-2021, and her semester 2, 2020-2021. The reason that these are under unpublished courses is because Dory has to publish this course in order for students to see it on their dashboard. So even though this course is created for you from Skyward, Skyward automatically adds your students to this course. As the teacher, you have to click publish for this to show up on their dashboard. So when you're ready for students to have access to this, you can just click this publish button right here, and it will be visible to students. Thanks, Krista. Another thing about Skyward generated courses is that as students are added or dropped to your course, that will be reflected in Canvas. So Canvas syncs nightly with Skyward. So that's for when you're ready to sync your grades from Canvas to Skyward. Also, your roster will automatically update with Skyward every night. So you don't have to worry about sharing join codes or anything like that with students. Okay. So we're going to talk about customizing which courses are displayed on your dashboard. So if I go back to Dory's dashboard, she has the MTHS library resources, MTHS staff PD, and MTHS social studies shared. So these are manually created courses that she's either enrolled in as a student or she's enrolled in as a teacher. If Dory wants to change what courses show up on her dashboard, she can customize that by going to Courses, the icon right below your dashboard. And then at the very bottom, there's a link for all courses. So if I click on all courses, I can see which courses are starred and which courses are not starred. So the courses on her dashboard are her current courses, and they're also her favorited courses. So if Dory wanted to add a course to her dashboard, she could click this star and go back to her dashboard, and that course would show up. If she wants to remove a course from her dashboard, she could unclick to remove this star and then go back to her dashboard, and those courses will show up. There's no save button. She can just star and unstar those courses, and then they will show up on her dashboard. And now we're back on my dashboard. So I'll get back into Dory's dashboard in just a second. Okay, so going to that courses button allows you to star or unstar courses for them to show up on your dashboard. Okay, we're going to talk about the template course that's in the Canvas Commons, in that library of resources that's available to you, and why we recommend this template course to get you started in your Canvas courses this semester. So I'm going to walk you through that template first. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard, and here's the template course. So we've created this template course to be set up to match those district requirements for Canvas. And the main reason why we created this course is for teachers to be able to import it into their dashboard and just get started right away. So without having to take all the time to format the course, it's already formatted. You can just plug in the information, and that's what you'll be working on during the asynchronous learning. Is we walk you through the steps of how to import this course and then how to edit the content for your class. So here is the template course. The template course has a home page. So when students open up the course, this is where they will land on your course. At the top, there's information about the course. So welcome to course name, the teacher name, any teacher contact information. So this is all information that you will update to reflect your course. You can also include a message to students and families. And then we have a link to our course information page. So I'll show you what that looks like as well. And then you can also include important course links. So if you have an online curriculum or you have resources that students need to access, you could include that information here. You can also include a link to your course syllabus. And part of the asynchronous learning is for you to actually add your syllabus to this course. At the bottom of this course, we've created a module for each week of the semester. And I like to think about modules as like a file folder. So if you have a drawer in a file cabinet, let's say in my classroom, I had a Spanish 2 drawer for my Spanish 2 class. Inside that drawer, I had file folders. And inside each of those file folders, I'd put all the resources. So I'd add my paper assignments, my syllabus, my quizzes, my notes, everything that I needed for that course was organized in file folders. What we recommend is that you organize your Canvas course in weeks instead of like units. So we can think of these modules as like a folder for each week. And so on your home page, we've already created these modules and we've already created links to these modules. So if students open up this course the first week of school, they can click on week 1 and go straight to that module to access the resources you've added to that module. So this is already set up on the home page. It's important to download the whole template course because all of the links are already set up for you. If you just download pieces, it can kind of break the links on that course. At the bottom, we have tech help for students and families. So you don't have to edit this information. We already set it up for students to access that Canvas resource site, for families to access their Canvas resource site, and then also for Chromebook use or Chromebook support and troubleshooting and then some tools as well for Chromebooks. So this is a tour of the home page. You are just going to edit that first chunk of information for your specific course. If we go to modules in this template course, these are the modules, or like the folders that we already have set up. So there's a resources for families and students module. There's only one thing in that module, and it's an information page for students and families. So if you click on this, this is another place to include welcome information, also include a link to your syllabus. You can include additional learning resources. So if you have additional resources that you want students to access, you can add those. And then we've created links. Everything below this Canvas course is information for families on observing a student in Canvas, information for families and students on accessing Skyward, again, technology support, and then that Canvas help button. So we've tried to include in this template many places where students can access those resources for Canvas, but also for technology assistance too. So you don't have to worry about updating any of these links. You would just add the information at the top. And then if we go to modules, again, so we're going back to modules. We've created a module for each week of the school year. So starting week 1, which is September 9th through 11th, next Wednesday, so crazy. Each module has an overview. So what we really suggest to you is to have an overview set up for your students of what they're going to do each week. This overview is just a page in Canvas, which is just information for students. You can link to your different assignments and activities on this overview, but students would be able to open up this overview and see on Wednesday, on the first day of school, this is what I'm going to be doing. Here's my Zoom meeting links. Here's my assignments that I need to work on. And they can follow this overview as the teacher updates it. In the spring, teachers were asked to provide all of the resources for the week posted on Monday for students to complete on Friday. We're still unsure of the details of our tentative agreement with the district, so we're not sure what that really looks like in detail. So this could be an overview that you post on Monday and it's ready for the week, or it could be something that you edit and add to each day. So maybe I go in and I add for Wednesday's activities. Wednesday evening, I add Thursday's activities. That will all just depend on our tentative agreement. So I updated this template and just removed the 9th, or removed the 7th. So you can go in and edit your weekly overview. You can edit the template module name also so that it matches the week for school starting. So we created this template in the spring without knowing for sure when the first day of school was going to be. So we just started with week 1 being September 7th to 11th. You can go in and edit that title by clicking on these 3 dots and clicking edit so that it starts on September 9th. Okay, so this is the template course. We also have changed the navigation bar so that students and families can only access home, modules, and grades. This will make it really easy for them to navigate this course because they only have 3 places to go. So as long as you're adding all of the resources for them to access to this module, then they won't need to go anywhere else. They can just go to modules to find all the information, and you'll be building this course during that asynchronous learning. Man, webinars are so strange when I can see Dana and then I'm just talking to 66 of you. So thank you for listening. This is not our style. I promise we won't be doing webinars going forward. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to import the template course. So I've walked you through the template course. Thank you for being attentive and sticking around so far. We do have a video tutorial with directions. The video tutorial actually has you create a course first and then import the template course. That's because most teachers didn't have access to their official Canvas courses until Friday. But now that you have them, you can import the template into those official courses and just start editing them right away. So I'm going to walk you through that step on Dory's dashboard. So let me pause really quick and I'm going to get back to Dory. Is there any questions or anything, Dana, that we could address now for a minute? Or anything to add?
Actually, Krista and Julie have been following that.
Oh, awesome. Okay. There was a question about announcements. You are more than welcome to keep using announcements, but what we recommend for announcements is that they're just short bursts of information, short reminders. They're not a place to put a whole agenda, because those announcements get easily lost by students and by families supporting those students. So a better way to address that would be by creating like a page that lives in your module for your daily agenda or your weekly agenda. But yeah, announcements can still be a powerful tool. Okay, so I'm back on Dory's Dory's dashboard, and I'm going to pretend to import this template course into Dory's World History 10 class. So you would open up your dashboard. You would open up, oh, let me go back. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to open up my dashboard, and then I'm going to click on the Canvas Commons, which is that button on my far left navigation. It's like a half circle with an arrow for the Canvas Commons. And this will open up the Canvas Commons library. Again, anyone that has a Canvas account can post to the Commons. So that's all universities, all schools, everyone that uses Canvas. So you can find some pretty cool resources in the Canvas Commons. All of the templates that we've created for you start with ESD for Edmonds School District 2020. These are resources for this school year. So if you're looking for a specific resource, you can search ESD 2020, and I'm going to search template course. Once I search ESD 2020 template course, I get the template course right here. It's for first semester 2020-2021. And I created this course alongside with all of our tech coaches. So this is what you'll see. You'll see this picture, you've got it. I'm going to click on the title of that course, and I can preview that course. One thing to note about resources that you're previewing in the Commons, they don't always look like they will when you download them, because I don't see a home page here. Although this template course has a home page, it's just hidden under pages. So it won't always look exactly like what you want it to look like, but know that once you download it, it will look like the template course we just walked through. So I've clicked on the name, and then on the far right corner, or far right side, I have this import download button. So I'm going to click on that. And this is going to pull up all of my Canvas courses. So I can see all of the courses that I currently have available. If you want to import this into multiple courses, you can. You'll just need to go in and edit that information in the home page and in that communications for students and families page. So if you want to import it into one course, edit the information, and then take that edited version and put it in your other course, you can do that. Or if you don't mind changing that information on the home page and the communication or the information page for families 2 times, you can import it into both. So I'm going to select the course that I want to import it into, and I want to import it into World History 10 Semester 1. So I would check that box, and then I would click Import into Course. It will immediately start importing all that content into that course. I'm not going to actually do that because Dory did not give me permission for that part. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard now. I'm going to stop acting like Dory, and I'll go to my dashboard. And once you go to your dashboard and you click on that course that you checked, you should be able to open that course and see that template imported. So now you would go in and actually edit that information. So using that edit button here, you can actually edit the content, and that's what you'll be doing in the asynchronous learning. Okay. Once you have your Skyward generated courses, which you do already, you can import that template straight into those courses. You can also import old content. So if you have content in your classes from last year that you'd like to move over into this year, you can also do that. And we have directions for that in the asynchronous learning. But that would just be this button right here to import existing content. So you do have that capability to take whole modules or whole course content from previous courses and import it into current courses. Your Skyward generated courses for each semester will always be blank when you get them. They'll be empty. So you can either copy content or create new content. Many teachers just improve on the content each year. So they just modify it each year. So they always have that those resources created, and they can just improve upon them or add new ones as they go, which is really nice. Okay, let's go back to our slides. Okay, and we're gonna jump into asynchronous.
Hey,
Yeah, Krista,
Mara,
go ahead.
there was a question if you could show the import process one more time.
Yeah, from the Commons?
Yeah.
Yes. And there is a video in the asynchronous learning that walks you through these steps too. So we recorded a video to help teachers in case they needed to review this as well. So I'm happy to do that again. Let me get back to Dory's dashboard. And then I can walk you through that again. And then you can also refer to that video. It's in the welcome page of the asynchronous learning. Okay, so I'm back on Dory's dashboard. One thing to note at the very top, there's this announcement, and your instructional tech coaches make these global announcements if there's anything important that we really want to get out to teachers about Canvas. And this was about the editing toolbar. Once you've looked through these resources and you feel comfortable with the new editing toolbar, you can always click the X over here to remove this announcement. So then it's not on your dashboard anymore. So that was something I didn't know I could do until about, I think, a year and a half as a Canvas teacher at Melliture. So just know that you are always learning new things. You can remove that if you don't want to see it anymore after you're familiar with the editing toolbar. Okay, so I'm on my dashboard here. I'm going to click on the Commons, which is on the far left side of my toolbar, and that will automatically take me into the Canvas Commons. And then I'm going to search ESD 2020 template course to find that template course that was created. And here's the template course right here. So I'm going to click on the name of it, and this opens up the template. Again, the preview is not exact to what it'll look like when you download it. I can go into pages, and I can see the example homepage here. I can also see there's an example homepage with buttons. So if you'd rather have buttons for each week, you can also download this page, or you can download the course and choose that as your homepage. It will still have all the correct links. There won't be any broken links if you use that page with buttons, but some teachers prefer the buttons. So once I preview that course, on the right-hand side, I'm going to click Import Download. This will pull up all of my Canvas courses that I have available, and I'm going to check World History 10, and then I would click Import into Course, and that will immediately start importing that content into your course. It's not instantaneous, but this template isn't that big, so it should take less than a few minutes. I would say maybe even less than a minute for all of that to show up in your course. Just a reminder that once your courses are ready to go, and it's the first day of school, I'd say the day before the first day of school, you can click publish. Please remember to click publish. Every single year, there was at least one class where I was like, okay, open up your Canvas course. And they're like, it doesn't exist on our dashboard. Dana too, because I forgot to click publish. So you can always click publish. If you get emails from students like, I don't see my course on my dashboard, know that you probably didn't click that publish button. So you can just do that, and then it'll be visible to students. Okay. Any other questions, Krista, that we should address before we move into the asynchronous?
I think that's it. Other than if they have not filled out the attendance sheet yet, because we have a lot more attendees than responses.
Okay.
We'll put that back in the chat.
Okay, so it's important that you fill out this attendance form. And let's see, Dana, can you put the bit.ly back in the chat again? The attendance form that Dana's adding is a Google form, and I can just share actually, let me resume my screen. So this is what it looks like. And this is for us to get your attendance for this 1.5 hours of live learning. We are also taking your email address from this attendance form and enrolling you in the asynchronous course. So in order to make this as easy as possible, you don't have to actually sign up for the course for the asynchronous learning. You can just we can just automatically enroll you, but we need your email address from that attendance form. So please fill this out. Also, that reminds me that, let me go back to, I think we're on the end here. Okay, reminder also that if it is really important to fill out that attendance form as well, because this optional Canvas will replace the required Canvas training tomorrow morning. So if we have a record of your attendance in this training, you do not need to attend tomorrow morning's training at 7:30 in the morning. You can spend that time tomorrow morning working on the asynchronous learning. If you don't get through that today, you can also spend that time planning for your classes and doing other things, because I know that you probably have a lot of things to work on during these PD days. So please fill out that attendance form so that you can get credit for this session at 9 a.m. instead of 7:30. Anything else, Krista?
There was a question, Mara, about a template for second semester. Are we just planning on using the same one, or are we going to change it up? Just a quick question.
Yeah, great question. So we will create a second semester template. It will have the modules already created. It will have a homepage that will have the modules linked. We're not quite sure. We're planning to ask teachers about, as we get closer to second semester, like what kind of template they want to see, because you don't want to necessarily recreate your homepage, recreate the student resources module. So we are happy to create a template for second semester, and as we get closer, we can figure out what that looks like, or if there's multiple templates that we create that will work for teachers, because you will want to organize your second semester in weeks as well, and we want to save you that time to create all of that structure. So we will create templates for second semester. Great question. I actually started working on it already because it's fun. It's fun for me. Saves you some time. Okay. Anything else?
If anyone's having trouble accessing the form, you do need to be logged into your district account.
Thanks, Krista. Let me close those blinds. Okay. Okay, Dana, do you want to talk about, let's make sure we're on the right one here. Yep. Asynchronous PD.
So following this PD, there's another 4 hours of asynchronous training to go into more of the things we've been talking about, how to set up your course, how to do some of the things to get started. So we've created this course, and this is why you've just registered for the course, so we can enroll you into that Launch into Canvas course. Can you show, do you have a way to show them what it looks like?
Yes. Let me stop acting as Dory. Thank you, Dory. You're the best. Okay, here's the tile for the course. It's called Launch into 2020-2021 Secondary PD. So I'll open that up.
And so it'll, you've joined us for the Canvas for Beginners, and there are modules through this Canvas for Beginners. You also have access to the experienced users resources too, once you feel that you're ready for those. So the 4 hours, the first thing is to let's see, what are we doing here? Okay. So that's funny. I did this last night. So using the lens of accessibility, we're having all teachers go through. It talks really about the things that when we create our courses and we create our assignments and we do our quizzes, what makes it most accessible for our students. So we aren't in the way of, we're not posting things that people can't see or people can't read. And so we will go through each one of these module pieces to get through this, and it's really worth your time. I think you will. I know I learned quite a bit about some of the things that I had been doing in the past that I needed to change to allow people to get to my content so much easier. So you will work through each piece of this. There are some have tasks for you to do. There are a few quizzes in here. You'll also get a chance to see how Canvas works for students as well. So here are the Canvas for Beginners section. Things like going over another introduction, organize your content into modules. How do you do that? Adding content into the modules, creating and publishing your weekly agendas, and so forth. So it's going to go step by step through how do I set up my courses using this template and my resources. And then when you're finished with this, if you wanted to move into the experienced users course, there are other Canvas features that would advance your understanding of, like, I noticed there was a question in the chat about speed grader. There's a speed grader option in here, and you can again, your 4 hours are completing the beginners, but if you wanted to continue working through it, you're welcome to go through the experienced as well.
Okay, and at the very top of this module, there's just an introduction for reference materials. So these slides that we shared during this session are in this section as well. There's also some new information. Krista, do you want to talk about any of those?
Well, and there's a question I
Okay.
will kind of look at. But first, yeah, as you come across some of these, Zoom is now integrated in with Canvas. So there's resources here that explain how Zoom and Canvas work together. And so how to set it up, what it looks like, and including what it looks like for the student view. So there's 2 different ways to set that up. Then on the module, there's one link, Canvas resources. Once again, it's just another link to templates and what was it? Oh, and our websites, things like that. And then there's a form link in the modules. Oh, this is the slides. Nope, that's okay. It's the last one, I think.
Last one.
And then there's forms here that if you want to add, for example, you have a paraeducator and you want to add them to observe your course, you can make that request, as well as if you want to create a manual course that you collaborate in with a grade level team or content team, you can select the add people to a collaborative course, because you, as a teacher, you're not able to add and remove people, but your instructional tech coaches can. So this is the way to request that, as well as eventually we created a form for student teachers for the rare cases. Some schools have those more. I don't know if this fall that's an option. And then there was a question about, is the asynchronous course the same as the summer one? The only part that is actually exactly the same is the accessibility, the use a lens of accessibility. And so by answering that first question, it says Canvas check-in. It basically says, did you take the course this summer? Yes, no. If it is yes, it allows you just to submit a copy of your badge, and there's a resource that shows that. And then you can jump to the beginning level. All right.
Okay, there was a question about if you've already created you've already imported the template course, and how do you get it into the Skyward account? So if you've imported the template course into your Skyward generated class, so that class that is in all caps that has a term designation, it is in that course. Students will be able to view it once that course is published. So the day before school starts, publish that course so that students can see that content. We will host sessions about a week into school, probably next week, maybe mid next week to late next week, that will show teachers how to make sure that their categories in Canvas match their categories in Skyward, so that you can then sync your gradebook from Canvas to Skyward. So there's a couple extra steps to do that. All of that information is on the Canvas resources for staff under grading. And there is information on the Skyward Canvas integration. Because that's not an immediate need right now, because we don't have anything in the gradebooks yet, we will be hosting sessions about that. We'll also have a recording of that session on the Learning Resources page. So if you want to get a jump start on that, you can look at those directions for Skyward Canvas integration, but we will have a session about that. So please check back on that calendar. Good question. Okay. Anything else before we go to the next or last slide?
I think just the piece that that once we have you in and we've put you in the Launch into Canvas course, you'll find an accept button at the top of the screen. You'll need to click so you're in that course. Perfect.
Okay.
All right, so now we've given you a lot of information and based on some of the questions in the Q&A and in the chat, you would like some direct help. So here's how we can support you on that. We're going to have an optional troubleshooting session. There's your bit.ly. We should probably put that in the chat.
Yes.
And we're going to take a 10-minute break. And you take a 10-minute break, and then we will open up this this Zoom chat, and you're welcome to come in. All 4 coaches will be in the, I think all 4 of us will be in there. There'll be multiple coaches there. We've not done this before either, so we'll be seeing how this works too. And our focus will be troubleshooting how to sign into Canvas, what's your course access, how to get your templates in, and then how to get your asynchronous course access. So those are kind of the focus that we're going to really focus on this time. Anything else? Did we get it?
I think so. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So we're back here. Okay. We really appreciate you sticking through with us in this webinar style. Again, we will not be doing this going forward. We just had to max out our capacity for attendees. You do not have to attend tomorrow morning. Make sure you have that registration filled out, and we'll see you in the Zoom session. If you need some troubleshooting help, you can always email us as well, and then look on the calendar for those office hours that will be open with tech coaches available to help you troubleshoot too as we get started in the school year. And welcome back, everyone.
And I believe everyone that signed in on the registration is in the course, but.
Perfect.
Thanks, Krista.
Yeah, and if you log on to Canvas and that you see that you're not, feel free to also join in to that Zoom meeting too. We didn't post it on the calendar because we wanted it to be available for just the attendees this morning. So I would open up that Zoom meeting. If you find that you don't actually need the help, you can always just leave that meeting or come and go as you please. We'll probably be in it for like 30 minutes-ish or longer, depending on how it goes. So check back in. If it's open, we're there. Okay. Okay, we'll see you soon. Have a great afternoon if we don't see you, and we're really looking forward to working with all of you.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, I'm going to stop recording.